ASICS MAGIC SPEED 4 Review Entry-level carbon-plated race shoes. The weight is 245 grams, 8.6 ounces for a men's US 9. The heel height is 43.5 millimeters. The forefoot height is 35.5 millimeters. The pronation is designed for people with neutral or underpronation. ASICS made these entry-level carbon-plated running shoes for the value-minded runners and racers who want a more stable carbon plate experience. With 6 color options available, I'm not too fond of most of the dual color options or the look. Once they get dirty, they look even worse. Compared to the simpler and sleeker looking S4 Plus Yogiti and Metaspeed Paris series, the Magic Speed 4 does nothing for me. Just because they are cheaper shoes functionally shouldn't mean they must look cheap stylistically. They fit and feel suitable for racing shoes. Although they may initially feel narrow, you could wear them in a more comfortable fit. They fit true to size, or you could go half a size up if you want an even more spacious fit. I don't want to say the stability of these shoes is underwhelming, but I don't want to call them great either. They're moderately stable, good enough. I'm a flat-footed runner with an overpronated gait who loves wide, stable running shoes. Suppose I found these decent when I'm not even the target demographic for these shoes. For those runners with a neutral underpronation, in that case, I think these will work for you. The tall foam stack height cushions the walk and run, but the foam used here is not ASIC's most premium. It's mostly FF Blast Plus with a sliver of FF Turbo thrown in. While the foams are sturdy and lightweight enough, they increase the shoe's weight. The outsole has a complete covering of ASICS grip rubber that means maximum grip and traction when running. Overall, the shoes felt great.